So this morning, on a very rainy morning in the UK, on the 4th of April, I am absolutely delighted to have a really dear friend with me today, Sandy Gould. Before I introduce you, Sandy, I just want to set the scene for our listeners as to why I really wanted you to fit this into your incredibly busy schedule, because at a time like this, my real passion as a biologist and a holistic health coach for animals and humans, my passion is giving people choices to make their lives better in whatever that might look for them as an individual. And also people that know me, and by the end of the interview, people that don't already know you, that know you, will see that for us, for you and I, integrity and trust is absolutely top of our value system. So we're going to be talking about some health options and sharing some real life stories today and your journey. But I just want people to have the context of this, that the reason that Sandy and I are doing this show is not to try and convince anyone to do anything, just to open up some different options for people that might feel that they're needing something else in their life to move forward on physical health, emotional health, spiritual health. So thank you so much, because I know what a busy man you are. Sandy, thank you so much for joining us. And can you introduce yourself to our listeners, please?
Well, firstly, Catherine, it's an absolute pleasure and it's an honor, and I would always make time for you. So thank you. Right, so I'm just a regular guy, okay? I'm not a qualified practitioner like yourself. I'm not a doctor or anything like that. I've been involved with Root for 2 years now, just over 2 years. And how I came into natural wellness and alternative medicine was a journey with my mum. I'll run through that briefly. So in 2016, she had a very serious stroke where she was hospitalized for 6 weeks. Luckily, no speech impediment or paralysis. However, it was very serious. She lost her swallowing reflex, so she's being fed through a tube, but she got that back after 3 months. Mum was very determined. I knew that allopathic medicine wouldn't get her back to health and wellness, so I explored the alternative field. So as well as taking her meds, I took her to see natural doctors, naturopaths, kinesiologists, nutritionists, etc. over about 4 or 5 years. Spent an absolute fortune. Some improvement, but not a lot. 2019, she got diagnosed with very, very early stage breast cancer. Went down the alternative route again, got ripped off big time. But in the end, the NHS dealt with it. They took the tumor out, and the surgery was so successful, she didn't need any chemo radiotherapy. But she did have symptoms or side effects from the general anesthetic. We thought she was getting better. Then in January 2020, she passed away very, very suddenly and unexpectedly from a blood clot to the lung, pulmonary embolism. Obviously, that floored us because we thought she was getting better. From a spiritual aspect, she actually knew she was going because she was saying stuff prior to, her passing. Like she'll say stuff like, I want to get Jasmine and Malika. Jasmine's my niece and Malika is my sister-in-law. Something when I go to India. And like, why, what do you want to get them? I want to get them jewelry. Well, why do you want to do that? I don't know how long I've got left. So I want them to remember me. Things like that. Anyway, I used to take Mum to see a flower remedies expert, world-renowned expert called Claire Harvey. She has a practice in Harley Street. and Mum used to love going to see her. And the week before Mum passed away, I took her to see her, and she made Claire promise while I was waiting in the car. She made Claire promise that she would lead me to my life mission and purpose, because I was stuck in a dead-end job as a security guard. Anyway, Claire agreed and thought, very strange request, but I'll promise. Mum passes away a week later. I go and see Claire for a session to deal with my grief. At the end of the session, this was in February 2020, at the end of the session, she tells me about a new zeolite product coming out. And I said, Claire, I'm not in the space. Send me the details and we'll go from there. Obviously, we all know what happens in March 2020. We get locked up. I start attending webinars with Clayton, the founder of Root, and Dr. Dory. And he was talking about stuff that I had never heard any alternative health practitioner talk about before, which was that the root cause of your disease is toxicity. And unless we remove the toxins, we cannot get back to good health. And I got really angry, not with him, but hang on a minute. I took Mum and spent thousands to see all these alternative practitioners, and not one of them mentioned toxicity. Not one of them addressed it or tried to address it. You know, they were quite happy to charge us like grands and grands for their supplements and sessions and stuff. Anyway, Clayton talked about Clean Slate. I asked him, can it help with cardiovascular disease, diabetes, cancer, you know, et cetera, et cetera. Basically, the answer was yes. Got the product on the 7th of April, 2020, which was a pivotal moment for my life. Started taking straight away. I ripped open the box and I started taking straight away. And within a few days, I noticed more mental clarity. My brain fog was gone. Better physical energy, mental energy, very lucid dreams as well, because what Clean Slate does is decalcify the pineal gland very, very quickly. And I was absolutely blown away when Clayton told me that, you know, this is what's going on. This is why you're having these lucid dreams. And now, I mean, as you know, and you're getting the same, we're just getting such amazing feedback and joy by helping people with these products. And all I can say is thank you, Mum, because, you know, she led me to this. So from the other side. So yeah.
I feel so emotional listening to that. I think I might cry, actually. I lost my dad in June 2020 and went through quite a similar sort of journey. I won't go into the details, but I think the thing is, when we go through this stuff, we learn. You know, we learn, as I like to say, you know, mistake made once is a mistake, and make mistake twice is a choice. And what you and I are really passionate about is opening up choices for people. And what I love about the journey we've both been on is what really resonated so much of what you just said, Sandy. And I think the reason why we get on so well, and because you are seriously one of the most genuine, kindest people I've ever met, but also with an incredible work ethic, is when I started listening to Clayton, the only other person I've been able to have conversations with in my entire career, whether it's when I have my scientific hat on or my holistic hat, and what I say I do is bridge the gap between science and nature, as do many other people. I'm just one of many people that does that. Is when Clayton was doing, I heard him talk, I was like, you are the only person, apart from my vet friend Timo and I, that have these conversations. And having worked for so many years helping animals and humans with physical and emotional issues, to realize that physical toxicity and emotional toxicity when you have things that can genuinely deal with both of those, it's a complete game changer, because we're all, the
100%.
world, it has changed. The world has changed, and embracing that and accepting that is part of being a human. But you know, we're not living in the thing. When I grew up, we had different challenges, and now we're living in 2022 and we've got certain challenges. Perhaps before we go on to the next stage, Sandy, you've got a medical disclaimer that we need to read.
Yes. Can you enable me to share my screen?
I should have done that. Let's have a look.
Let me, oh yeah, here we go. Right, yeah, no worries. All right, so I'm just going to read this medical disclaimer. The information provided is for educational purposes and is not intended for medical advice or a substitute for the medical advice of a physician or qualified health professional. You should not use this information for diagnosing a health or fitness problem or disease. You should always consult with a doctor or other healthcare professional for medical advice or information about diagnosis and treatment. Okay, so that's done.
I'm just saying to people, the reason we have to do that is we're still, obviously anyone who's watching this knows that we are still living in a world where we have to cover our things like this. And one of the things that Sandy and I work and the Root company work with is the reason we call things complementary, as they are complementary. There's no one size fits all. So you're going to share with us some amazing stories, aren't you, about
I am, and I'll tell you why. People want to know this stuff works, Catherine.
Yeah.
You know, and so I'm going to show you, the first thing I'm going to show you is some stuff, some analysis from Caroline Mansfield. Caroline Mansfield is a naturopath and a live blood analyst. She's been doing it for 20 years. She's based in the UK. And she's going to be coming onto your show soon. So I'm not going to steal her thunder, but I'm going to be showing you what she's going to be talking about. Just, you know, I'm not going to go into it in depth. So the first thing is that, have you seen the video of the antibiotic pill being
yes,
pulled apart? Yeah. Okay.
And I think I just want to explain that to the listeners. So we have to be careful with our language on this platform that we're showing this video. But a lot of people that are watching my channel will be very well aware of the fact that there's a lot of nasties. One of the things, graphene, and then have a little pause, oxide, that we've got a lot of awareness now. And a lot of these things have been around for a while, but we haven't, as members of the public, been aware of them. And a lot of us who are doing the same sort of research as you and I are now becoming aware of some of these things that they're hiding in places that we would never expect them to be. Yeah.
So absolutely. So she actually replicated it. So these are magnetic particles that she pulled from a pill, which was, I think, about maybe 7 or 8 years old. She can go into that when she comes on. Then she mixed it with clean slate. If you look, it's neutralized the magnetic effect. Look, you see there, it's not as magnetically charged as it was before. She sent me this in November. I took a real risk and said, right, try it with clean slate. And she did, and those were the results. But she's going to talk about this more when she comes on your show.
Yeah, she's in the work she does.
Yeah, absolutely. Right, this is her blood. She's got very clean blood. This is her blood before taking clean slate. And then this is her blood straight after. So you can see the difference.
The speed of movement and the fluidity of movement. And bear in mind, Caroline has got probably some of the cleanest blood that you'll ever see under the microscope. So, you know, the fact that this one message I wanted to get across, whatever your state of physical or emotional, mental, whatever you like to call it, health, if you want to do better, there's always things that are out there that can help you.
Absolutely. Yeah, 100%. Okay. This is when she analyzed clean slate under a dark field microscope.
Mhm.
So it's got a quantum energy to it. I don't know if your viewers are aware, but clean slate is actually, it's not just a zeolite derived product. The manufacturing process includes polarization, which means energy enhancement, fracking, and quantum harmonics. Christina actually sang to the formula, like using, so it's infused with her energy. She was blown away. Caroline was blown away when she found these, when she saw this underneath.
And what are we actually looking at there, Sandy? I might have to put my glasses.
That's a zeolite crystal.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's just beautiful, isn't it?
Yeah. I don't want to steal her thunder, so I won't spend too long.
No. Now, Caroline, I will put her details below, and I'm invited her onto my show because Caroline is the most amazing woman, therapist, natural health practitioner.
Yeah.
But what this does, I've been studying this sort of stuff for years and years, Sandy, more years than I care to admit. And what I find is just when you look at that quantum aspect with the physical aspect, because I'm very, very lucky. My listeners are incredibly well informed and incredibly open. I mean, I honestly, they're so knowledgeable on so many different areas, and I think they understand that you've got to look at things from a multidimensional aspect.
Absolutely.
This is what really stood out to me, because I will put my hand up, sorry to interrupt, but just for a minute. So we've all got belief systems, and I have come from a very scientific background, gone into a more natural background, and now I try and merge the two. But I will put my hand up and be honest and say that back in 2020, with everything I've been through as a family, I had got to a stage where I was incredibly demoralized with the pharmaceutical industry. And what I've learned, and I really was, so it was going to take a hard push for someone to come in and remake me look at the benefits of that. I knew there was, but I was very much reacting from an emotional level. And one of the things about when I love hearing Christina talk, and Christina, Dr. Christina Ram is the scientific formulator for Roots, and Clayton Thomas, who's her husband, is the founder of Roots, and the combination of the two, because they're incredibly different but incredibly powerful together. When I heard Dr. Christina, it comes up, you know, one of my favorite sayings, Sandy, is don't throw the baby out with the bathwater. And, you know, this is the thing, is like we take what's good from these different industries and drop the dark side of it. And I think I personally will put my hand up and say I needed reminding of that.
Yeah, because her background in the pharmaceutical industry as a bioscience engineer and nano, maybe my terminology is wrong, but yeah, her scientific background, she's taken that from the pharmaceutical industry and applied it to natural products. And what she's infused them with a quantum energy. All these products are are made using what's known as quantum nanomulsion technology, which basically means that the ingredients are made of bioavailable. What does bioavailable mean? Bioavailable means that it goes to all parts of the body. It goes into all the cells, yeah, to do what they have to do. Otherwise, if something's not bioavailable, it's pretty much useless. Okay, shall I move on?
Yes, so we're going to look at some of the pet testimonials, aren't they? Because again, I am so passionate about animals, and the great thing about animals, Sandy, is the fact that they don't have a placebo effect. You know,
absolutely.
That's out of it.
So when we do other calls, we'll show human testimonials, but I just wanted to show pet ones because, like you say, no placebo. Okay, so this is Marina. Right, you can read that there.
Basically, the
About,
dog had just been very ill after eating too much garlic.
yeah,
And she's used the clean slate and just had an amazing recovery rate.
yeah, absolutely, yeah. Okay. Here's a dog, 12-year-old Labrador, arthritis, major improvements in the arthritis. I guess your viewers can pause and read these, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Oh, this is an awesome one. Right, so Matt Senna, he's got a fish, and he put a few drops of clean slate in the fish tank, and the fish changed color from that to that.
Wow.
Yeah, mind-blowing. All right, here's one about a bulldog, cyst gone. She's not had a new cyst, yeah. This is Teddy. Caesar is in my community for Root. He keeps posting videos about this dog's Teddy, who doesn't leave him alone, just keeps hassling him for clean slate. And I think Restore as well.
Yeah.
Right. Bulldog with ear infections. Couple of drops into the ear, and it worked. Right, there's one. Okay. Joint problems. Cats. Dodgy leg, got better by rubbing Restore onto it. What else we got?
I love that picture.
Yeah, this is Kaiser. Real spring in his step, even more so since being on clean slate. Okay, so we have a Rooted Pets group on Facebook. You can put the link of that.
Yes, I will.
In the description if you want. Okay, so there's more stuff here. Right, so some of these are duplicated.
I will put the link to this because it's really important people go through, because the thing is it's like understanding that most conditions are linked to toxicity, and where the problem is when we're looking at our animals, which are completely dependent on us, unfortunately, the food, let alone all the other sources of toxins like spot on chemical treatments, like wormers, like vaccinations, etc. When you look at the food that most of our pets get fed of whatever species, it's even worse than the human food chain, and we all know the problems with that. So unfortunately, our poor pets are being bombarded left, right, and centre with so many toxins. Plus, they're often living in a lot of EMF exposure if you've got pets that are living in the house and things like this. So the important thing is for us, what we do, and you'll see in this group, is that it's like not, recognizing that there's issues, taking all sorts of steps, look at their diet, look at what chemicals they're putting on, but also try and help them with some of these products to actually gently take the toxins out of them.
Yeah, exactly. And also when you take the dog out for a walk, they're gonna like drink from puddles and maybe eat some, stuff that they should not be eating. That's going to make them even more toxic. Like a friend of mine, her dog got really sick because they lived close to a farm, and the dog was drinking from the puddles.
Yeah.
But the puddles were full of toxic, like, waste, like pesticides or herbicides and stuff.
Yeah.
So, okay, let's see if we can find some more. Oh, wow, this is a really cool one. Dash on Rosie intervertebral disc disease, was in pain. Vet said rest for 3 weeks, didn't improve. 1 drop of clean slate twice. Today she's pretty much back to normal. Amazing.
Yeah, so these are real life, and what Sandy and I do, folks, is using products this and not a substitute for healthy lifestyle choices.
Yeah,
complement beautifully. And a lot of us, you know, our pets, our animals of any species, us as humans, we've been through a lot, not just for the last 2 years, but for the last goodness knows how long. When we have Caroline on, like the example that Sandy showed at the start, where Caroline had taken like a really old antibiotic tablet that she had in her cupboard and found that it had some of these nasty substances in it. We've been exposed to these for long before we've been aware. So actually having something that can take it out, I cannot tell you how transformational it's been for my animals and my clients' animals as well as us humans.
yeah, totally. Yeah, 100% agreed with you there, Catherine. This is a cool one. 12-year-old cat started limping. Cat's not limping anymore. She's not a big fan of the clean slate and hides from it when she sees the bottle, but it works. Yeah. So that's all I have to show for today, Catherine. What else did I want to say? Oh, by the way, for your UK viewers and maybe overseas viewers, just in case they weren't aware, Clayton and Christina and Dr. Dory are coming over to London for Easter weekend, which is the 15th to the 18th of April, for the Mind, Body and Spirit show. Root Wellness have got a stand there, and Clayton is doing a talk on the pineal gland on the Saturday. Dr. Dory and Claire, I believe, are doing a talk on Sunday about flower essences. And then Christina is doing a workshop on anti-aging on the Monday. So that's at Olympia, London, Mind, Body and Spirit show.
And I think it's also been called the Wellbeing Festival. And again, I will put the link below because I'm going to be there as well. So I'm there on the stand on the Friday, Good Friday and Easter Saturday. So I would love to see any of the UK listeners that can come and say hi. You know, I will be there along with the extended route team, and please come and see us. Please.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, I'll be there. Catherine, of course, Clayton, Christina, Dr. Dory, and also Groupon are doing a 2-for-1 deal. So 2 tickets for the price of 1. So you might want to put, yeah.
Okay, great. So thank you so much for your time. People, let us know what you think. As I said, what our intent behind sharing this is not to try and sell something, not to convince, just to give you options that if it resonates with you. I'm going to different video on the sway test. It's one of the reasons that one of the ways I get people to help tune into themselves. But if it resonates with you, but we just wanted to show some real life examples because the science is absolutely amazing. And I will put my hand up and I love it. I love talking about the science and spiritual aspects of things. But at the end of the day, the truth of the pudding is, does it work for you? Does it work for your animals, etc.? And just giving people choices. If you want to find out more, the links will be below. Thank you so much, Sandy, for your time. We really appreciate it. And thank you so much for sharing your journey at the beginning. I really appreciate you sharing that. And we will be back with some more human testimonials. If people would like that, please let us know in the comments below. Sandy, if people like it and if they put in the comments below, would you be up for doing a live one as well, where we can answer some questions as well?
Absolutely. Yeah, I'd love to do that. Yeah.
So if people would like that, please just let us know politely in the comments below, because we're here to try and, sort of help, really genuinely want to share things that we're passionate about. So let us know what format you'd like us to do it in.
No.
Thank you.
And Catherine, thank you for having me. I've really enjoyed it. If you'd like to try these products, the link is below, where Catherine will post her link and referral code. So, and if you've got any questions, then she'll be very happy to answer them, or I will, if you need any help. Okay.
Thank you. Oh, the other thing I did want to say, which I've been completely blown away by, the level of support, if people want it, on the product side of things, on the science side of things. Like every day of the week, there is a free call as a member of the Root community, and you don't pay anything to join at all. So that's a really important thing. You don't have to. There's options to get free delivery if you do a monthly subscription. You do not have to. There's no obligation to, you know, you're not tying yourself into anything. So that to me shows a lot about the intent of the company. You know, when you join for free, there's no, you're not signing your life away.
And as of today, for our Australian customers, they have reduced the shipping charge from $35 to $16.95, I believe.
Wow.
Just to, yeah. So, I mean, that there's no margin in shipping, but they want to look after everyone.
Yeah.
Also, anyone is welcome into our community. We've got an amazing community. It's very fun. It's very loving. Clayton is very cheeky. Everyone loves him, but he's very genuine, and so is Christina. So yeah, you're welcome to be part of our community as well.
Thank you so much, and thanks for listening. Let us know whether it was helpful. Take care.